Hi everyone, and welcome to the final week of HSH702. This is my final day in Vancouver. I am downtown, just doing things really. My flight is currently quarter to midday on Thursday. My flight leaves at midnight tonight. So I've got some time to kill, and so I've decided to come down and do some art, see some art. I've been here 6 times, Vancouver, and this is the first time I've never actually been in here, which is the Vancouver Art Gallery. So I'm going to go there today. This is the kind of a square. During the Olympics, the Vancouver Olympics in 2010, they had a zip line over this square. We did not get to do that. I figured travel insurance probably wouldn't care for me to do that. And it's quite a nice day actually here. I found in Vancouver the first few days were absolutely gorgeous, then it was grey, but then the last couple of days have been gorgeous again, and it tends to be really nice around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you can't see, but I got sunburnt yesterday. Despite wearing a hat, I went for a walk, and I am looking less dishevelled today. I went and got a haircut and my beard trimmed. So, probably don't care about that. So we are at the end of the trimester, essentially. You're watching this, it's the end of week 11, it'll be Friday your time when you see it. So congratulations. It is, trimester 1 can be hard because you're coming back from a very long break. Some of you are coming into your degree for the first time, so the clinical leadership students, this is their first unit in their degree. And some of you might have done trimester 3, such as myself. I teach in trimester 3, and so it can be hard to say the least, and there's not a lot of breaks and it's full on, but that's university life, unfortunately. It's just it just is. So well done in getting to this point. So a couple of things. I'm going to do a free plug. I'm walking backwards and I'm really trying not to trip over anything. There are bollards here. And I don't want to end up on like one of those YouTube channels of people falling over. Free plug for HSH702, alcohol, tobacco and other drugs. It's the unit that I teach in trimester 3. It's an elective. It assumes no knowledge about the topic, and it's wholly online, as I said, I think. And yeah, it's a good unit. It gets great evaluates. We have about 50 students each year. It's fun, and anyone in the university can do it, but those with a health background or knowledge about health probably find it easier than some of our students that say come from engineering, which we get a few. So if you want to do a wholly online unit in T3, consider that. If you like me, like the way I teach exactly the same way, and I hope the enthusiasm that I've shown in this unit flows through to that. Evaluates. So you've seen the video or the update about that, and I've got another little week's content for you. Oh, it's not content, it's just explanations. The bringing it all together week that's just been, if you're watching this, it's there. It talks about the evaluates and how to do them. So it's really important that you reflect on the trimester and reflect on what you've done in the trimester and how you've gone about it. So it is tempted to be punitive. Every year I get, I don't know why we did this subject. Well, it depends on what course you're in. Hopefully I've conveyed why you need to have an understanding of policy. And it is really one of those things that you'll understand when you go out into the workforce, the importance of knowing it. That's your chance. So just like we don't mark your assignments in a punitive way, we mark them based on the criteria that we've set and told you how we're going to mark it, you should do the evaluates the same way. So they get seen by the Associate Head of School Teaching and Learning in my school, my Head of School, the Head of Teaching in the faculty and the Head of Teaching at the university. So punitive remarks like, I hated math, blah, blah, blah. No one pays attention to those because we're used to them. But comments like, what can be improved, what you didn't like and how it can be improved, and what you did like. Always tell us what you did like, otherwise we're tempted to change things, and we can often change the things that people really liked but we didn't know that you liked them. So just take that in mind. In the last couple of years I have had comments in the evaluates that I have referred to the head of teaching and learning at the university, and they've been removed. And in one case, the student was almost up for disciplinary action. So don't be one of those students. And you don't have to do them if you don't want, but I think it's good to do them. We do look at them. You'll see in the unit guide, I have shown what I've done this year based on feedbacks in the other years and the other units that I teach. So the early feedback is something that I trialled in my T3 unit. We've done it in this unit as well. And the topics that we've given for AT1, the guidance that we've given for AT1. So I know some people are tempted to think that we didn't give a lot of guidance, but if you think about it, we did activities in the seminars that were related to the assessment. You got the feedback from last year's assessment. You got the early feedback this year, or the option for it. So you got a lot of things around that. So do think about those things when you're doing the evaluates. What else is there? So your assignment 2, assessment task 2. If you have any queries, do post them on Cloud Deacon. I've had a few students posting them, emailing me, and I've responded, but do post them on Cloud Deacon, because the adage is really true. If you've had the question, then other people will as well. The common one seems to be scope. So, I want to look at this topic, is it too broad or is it too narrow, or this population group, is it too, doing the whole population versus doing maybe younger people or older people, or separate it by gender or whatever. I can't tell you that, because I don't know the topic that you're doing, or I don't know everything in that topic. What is important for you is it's based on your reading and your understanding of the topic. My advice is generally that if you narrow it down or be a little bit more specific, it's probably going to be easy when you come to implementing your recommendations. So the assignment is due 1st of June, so it's next week. Same deal, a couple of days after the assignments are submitted, we close the Dropbox. If you've got an extension, I'll allow that. If you do need extension, so assessment task 1, I said this before, we had a lot of people, IT problems, or they were sick a couple of days beforehand. There are policies and procedures for applying for an extension, so it just makes it easier on me, and on you if you do require an extension, especially if it's a couple of days before the due date. You have to submit all the documents that are required. If you're not sure about that, go back to the AT1 folder, and I've linked to everything there. You do have to provide a copy of your assessment that you've done to show that it's the university put this in a couple of years ago, basically to stop people going, oh, I'm sick, I need an extension, because they haven't worked on their assignment. It is to say, I have been working on it and I am genuinely ill, and so forth. Medical certificates, the more information on your medical certificates, the better. So if you've been sick, why have you been sick? Why has it prevented you from working on your assignment? If you were sick for one day, I'm not going to give you the 7-day extension that you've asked for. So it's just that sort of stuff to make my life easier, and then to make your life easier as well. What else? I will probably have a video not long before the assessment, so next week, but this is just a video to say that I've been looking at everything on Cloud Deacon. And don't forget, I've posted a little blog about the conference here in Vancouver. I think it's really important that you know what we do, what we academics do. This is not just a junket. This week in particular has been annual leave for me, so it has, it's a holiday, but the first week wasn't. But I've come here for a reason, and it's related to my work, it's related to my research, and I think it's, I try and use examples of what I do outside of my teaching in my teaching. And I think you should, be questioning academics that don't research or aren't involved in the things that they teach. I think, the best things, I did a psychology undergraduate degree, and if I had someone that was a social psychologist teaching me by psychobiology, neuropsychobiology, I'd be wondering why that was happening. I mean, I'm sure they can do it, but I want someone that is experienced in neuropsychobiology teaching me neuropsychobiology. Likewise, for a policy subject, you should want someone that is involved in policy and does work in this space. And I think I hope I've conveyed that to you. Anyway, this has gone on for far too long, but it is the end of the trimester video, so congratulations on getting this far. And I'm about to go see some art and then prepare for my midnight flight out of here. So I hope everyone has a lovely weekend, and I will have another video next week, and I'll see you then.